In this video, I'd like to tell you about a resource created by the CSA Centre, which aims to help people who work with children talk to them when they have concerns of sexual abuse. The resource covers why it is difficult for sexually abused children to tell of their abuse, the actions and questions you can ask that may encourage children to tell you about their abuse, and advice on communicating with children in different contexts. Initial conversations with a child about sexual abuse can feel like a challenge. You need to put the child at ease and demonstrate that you're worthy of their trust, while at the same time asking appropriate questions, being attentive to their behaviour, and keeping an accurate record. Within this resource, we suggest a series of stages to guide your preparation and discussions with the child. First off, you need to consider who will be best placed to speak to the child. If you have concerns about a child, you are probably the best person to speak to them. It's always better to prepare for a conversation with a child, but, regardless of time, make sure it takes place with as much privacy as possible. Think about how much communication takes place through your body language. You need to make sure that your body is communicating the same messages as your words. If you've arranged the conversation because of concerns about a child's behaviour, it can be useful to use cues such as the child's behaviour or undisputed facts as a starting point. For example, I have noticed you have been very quiet in class lately. You need to show that you are listening and you need to give the child time. You can use phrases such as, "I am here for you," or offer alternative times to allow them to open up when it's comfortable for them, such as, "I'm going to come and see you again next week, and we can talk a bit more about this then if you'd like to." We know from lots of studies that for a variety of reasons, children worry they will not be believed if they speak about their sexual abuse. As children rarely lie about being sexually abused, you should adopt a believing stance in your body language and accept what the child says if they share that they are being or have been sexually abused. During your first conversation with a child, your primary concern must be to ensure their safety and well-being. Ask enough questions to work out whether the child is currently safe. Then move carefully towards the end of your conversation. It can feel difficult to navigate the fine line between respecting the child's confidentiality and meeting your safeguarding responsibilities. You'll need to remain open, honest, and transparent about the actions you will need to take, while acknowledging the child's worries and finding ways of addressing these. Ending a conversation can be difficult, especially when a child is talking about sexual abuse. It's important to end it in a way that lets them know they can come back to you. Depending on your specific role, there may be a professional body which provides specific guidance on how written recordings of the conversation should be made. It really is important that you clearly record any concerns you have in as much detail as possible, using the child's own words and including anything you have observed the child doing or saying. Don't limit this to the conversation you've just had, but build a picture of the context surrounding your concerns. In addition to communicating with the child, you're also likely to be in contact with their parents or carers. You should bear in mind the possibility that one or both parents may be involved in abusing the child. But be careful not to assume that the parents are involved or complicit in the abuse. A few final things to mention. There is a misconception that we need a child to tell a professional verbally if they are being sexually abused before we can do anything about it. There are many things we can and should do to safeguard and support children, even if we have no verbal disclosure. After all, there are some children that due to age or disability may never be able to verbalise their experiences. These children need safeguarding too. It is important that we act to support and safeguard a child by reducing risk factors and increasing protective factors for the child, their non-abusing parent, and their wider family. We will come on to this in our next videos. With sexual abuse, we all think that someone else is the expert, and that we cannot and should not be the ones to explore concerns. Actually, as people who already work with children, we have all the skills we need to be able to have sensitive and sometimes difficult conversations with children and their families. Child sexual abuse can feel difficult and complex, but you have the skills to do this. And by all working together, we can tackle it. I would encourage you now to have a look at our resource, Communicating with Children, available on our website.